Welcome to Home Gym History. My name is Rob from Vintage Weights PGH, and I'm here with the good doctor, as I call him sometimes online, Dr. Tatty Waffles, otherwise known as Daniel. Welcome, Daniel.
Thank you. Thanks, Rob. I'm so excited to be here and chat home gym stuff with you.
Absolutely. So, home gym stuff, a great gathering, just happened not too long ago, a couple months ago, HomeGymCon. It was your first HomeGymCon. What did you think? Did you have a good time? Never going back again? Where do you weigh in on it?
Yeah, it was cool. Honestly, the equipment was secondary to just the people. It was so cool getting to meet the community, people I've chatted with on Reddit and Discord, and it was just a lot of fun. I had a blast, especially at like the cocktail hour,
Yeah.
meeting the different manufacturers, the different content creators, and I brought my family along. My daughter loved it because she got to go to BarbieCon and sort of scope out
Yeah.
some of the sales there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was a blast. I'd never been to Kentucky before.
Even in the Gold House in the hotel, the Barbican had like their sales set up, like go visit this room for 1970s attire. So yeah, Barbican going strong. I think I'm gonna miss it a little bit in a weird way next summer since it won't be the same weekend. Oh well.
Yeah, funny enough, BarbieCon this year is going to be in Austin, and
Okay,
we're considering making a trip now that we've been to the
there it
first one.
is.
Yeah,
So you can report back from both Home Gym Con and BarbieCon for
exactly.
everyone's benefit.
Yeah.
Now, actually, you're a good example of something I think is the difference when people ask me, like, oh, well, how was Home Gym Con different this year versus previous years? Um, to the best of my recollection, maybe I'm just a big jerk. We did not meet face to face, did we? At Home
I
Gym
don't
Con?
recall.
I don't recall either. So, okay. All right, good to know. So I would have loved to meet you and chat with you at the happy hour or somewhere in Home Gym Con. But that's what I think the biggest difference is. Home Gym Con is the size now where it still feels intimate in a like gym equipment way that everything
Hmm.
is purposeful. The booths are all purposeful. It's not like there's 62 different supplement booths or something. But on the other hand, we've gone from 30 ticket holders to 1,300. So it's to the point in the size where unless you make like a concerted effort, you might walk around that whole time and not bump into someone that you kind of want to meet. And like you
Yeah.
said, a big part of it for me, I love seeing the equipment, is to see the people that I know in the community that really I just message with on whatever, Discord or Instagram or something. I
Hmm.
don't see them otherwise.
Totally.
So going forward, if anyone wants to save a little money on Home Gym Con tickets, code Vintage will help you out. Code Vintage. And Home Gym Con this summer should be bigger and better, but still retain all those good like Home Gym Con vibes. So now
Yeah.
BarbieCon I can't speak to, but oh well. You'll have to let us know how that goes.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I already have my tickets for next year, so
Nice.
fingers crossed it works out, and I'll get to see everyone, get to meet you face to face.
Heck
That'd
yeah.
be cool.
For sure. And there's a little more time this year. There's a dinner this year, which I'm glad they're bringing back. So that'll be cool. Now, your home gym, I can see some of it there, but I did this with Joey on the last episode, and we're just going to I'm going to rapid fire, like just get a sense, a feel of your home gym,
Sure.
not like a full 20-minute tour. So, starting with what is the centerpiece with a lot of home gyms, what's your rack? What type of rack do you have?
Yeah, so I have an Eleiko Prestera rack, which I love, but it's kind of an odd piece because it uses 70 millimeter uprights instead of 75, so
Oh,
attachment compatibility isn't great. But stainless front uprights, their attachments are great, and it's pretty basic. Just sort of your standard half rack with weight storage, pull-up bar. Um, what I really like about it is they have these gliding J cups. You probably can't see it,
oh,
but they're sort of installed on top of the upright on rollers, and you
okay.
can just sort of glide them up and down with a pop pin. Makes for really quick changes, and they've got rollers, so centering bench is no problem.
Oh wow, that does
Yeah,
sound nice. I like the sound of the gliding rollers. So then, pulley cable system. Do you have one? Do you have a Voltra, for example?
I do. Big Vulture guy.
There you go.
Um, yeah, so about a year ago, I was in the market for a lat pull down low row, and I was sort of exploring my different options. Um, I saw a few that I liked, but at the same time, there were a lot of people, especially on the Home Gym Discord, showing off their Vulture setups,
Oh yeah.
and it sort of planted the seed. I was like, oh, this isn't that much more than the lat pull down low row I was going to get, but it takes up like a quarter of the space.
Hmm.
If I was considering like the prime single stack,
Yeah.
that thing would take up like half of my gym. Whereas the Voltra has all that same functionality, but and you do have to sort of like build out a place to mount it. But once you have that dialed in, it's like it's so space saving and so compact that I went with the Vulture for the cable system, and I use that for the majority of my accessory work. Like I still do all my lifting, my main lifts on barbell and dumbbells, but
Hmm.
for accessories and warm ups, I'm on Vulture like every day.
And I mean, Discord, you hit the nail on the head, is a very Vultra heavy place. At least it
Yeah.
feels like it sometimes. Maybe the Vultra owners are just very vocal on Discord. But you recently on Discord, you were one of the only people. Whenever I threw a question out there about Anchor and Anchor pulley system, you were one of the only people that kind of gave a fair shake, I think, of pros and cons of it. So for being a
Yeah.
Vultra owner and Vultra enthusiast, I got to give you credit there.
Yeah, the Anchor, I don't own one, but I got to use it at HomeGymCon, and I got to use their Anchor X, which is like the bigger one that goes a little bit higher in weight and is rack mounted. And
It's
it uses like
it's contained. Yeah,
it's contained. It
it
doesn't have
looks
the
kind of like a
pucks.
nuclear bomb.
Yes, it does. Something right
That's
out
what it
of
reminds me
Fallout,
of, like Oppenheimer.
for sure. And yeah, it's got that dial
Uh
to
huh.
sort of quickly change the weights, which the other one has
Yes.
a puck system, which I don't like. But yeah, honestly, it's the biggest criticism about it is that it only goes up to like 60, 70 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
which is, all you might need for arm work. But, if you wanted to do leg and back work, you have to find a way to work around that limitation. Whereas you don't necessarily have to do that with Vultra. I mean, still, Vultra's, 200-pound limit is not enough for some lifts, but still, a little more versatile than the Anchor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would agree with all of that so far. I've been using the Anchor for, I don't know, about a month here now, a couple weeks. And yeah, I use it a lot for a lot of accessory movements, a lot of arm work, shoulders,
Yeah.
things of that nature.
I definitely considered it. When I was sort of scoping things out to replace my cable system.
Hmm.
And with Vultra, I was not an early adopter. I mean, I wouldn't consider myself an early adopter. There were guys out there who had been using it for like a year before I hopped on because I was really put off by the price. But it wasn't until sort of pricing out the more traditional um, equivalents or alternatives that I was like, okay, well, it's not that much more.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm very intrigued by the Voltra as well. All the different settings. I think I could definitely go down a rabbit hole there and
Yeah.
spend a lot of time. I'd have to make a rule for myself that I don't mess around with settings during a training session. Otherwise I feel like I just spend my whole time
Yeah, it's hard not to.
pressing buttons and things instead of actually training.
Yeah.
So, but that's something to explore down the road. In the meantime, let's move on to barbells. So, what kind of bars do you have in the gym? Have any favorites?
Yep. So I've got four bars, well, four straight bars. The American Barbell Chewy Bar, the powerlifting bar. The American Barbell Training Bar, I think it's called. It's
Okay.
their sort of Olympic lifting 28 millimeter no center knurl bar.
Okay.
Um, and then I have a Rogue Chan bar,
Mm.
which is their like, it's kind of like the Ohio bar where it's a 28.5 millimeter
Hmm.
functional fitness CrossFit bar, but the knurling pattern is a little different. And then lastly, oh yeah, I've got a Rogue Puros bar that was gotten from the one of their grab bags. So it was like
Oh, nice.
$100, came in amazing
Ooh.
condition. They had like totally defaced because it had had the IWF certification,
Uh
whatever, and they had just totally scratched that off like a freaking barbarian. Like I don't know what they
Yeah.
used, like steel wool or something, but
Yeah.
it's like all gouged out.
It's
But
no longer
otherwise,
certified.
yeah, they removed the certification. But that's a great barbell.
Yeah,
So those are my four
that's
straight bars.
for $100 grab bag. That's a solid grab because
Yeah.
one of my previous guests, an Olympic weightlifter on Team USA, was just talking about the Pyrrhus and how And I was joking, like, Rogue, can you get this guy a Pyrrhus? Because he was saying that he had used one here and there, and he wants one for his gym. And I'm like, all right, this is Team USA, Rogue. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Something tells me maybe Rogue's not listening to my podcast. But I'll still make a plug for him. Like, please, could you get Meridian on Team USA a Pyrrhus bar? So which one of those do you find yourself right now? I mean, it ebbs and flows for me. Like sometimes I'll
Yeah.
just, for a couple months, I really obsess over one versus another. Since I'm blessed to have more than one barbell.
Right.
Right now, it's early September 2025. What are you gravitating towards?
Okay, so if I could only have one bar, it would probably be the Rogue Chan bar.
Okay.
It's super versatile. And this is like after the refresh where they've sort of tightened the tolerances. There's no like rattle or sleeve slop. It's a stainless bar that has Cerakote on top of it, so it's just like completely rust resistant. And I like the knurling. The knurling is sort of offset from the center slightly so that it doesn't scrape you on deadlift. It's all around a great bar and totally underrated. But
I just today that's not scraping you on deadlift is underrated. My
yeah,
shins lately, I don't know, I've just fallen into like a weird scraping my shins kind of phase of deadlifting. And my daughter just pointed out today, she's like, "Oh, Dad, you got a cut." And then she's like, "Oh, that's just one of your barbell cuts."
yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, don't worry, that's just one of those."
Honestly, I've just started deadlifting in like stretchy pants.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
I mean, it's a fashion statement too. So
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of a home gym. Yeah, you can
yeah.
lift in whatever you want to lift in. So then you went through some of the bars. What are you putting on the bars? Iron plates, bumpers, both?
Yeah. So I've just got bumpers here. Actually, I've got the Rogue Echo V2 bumpers. That's what they are. They're
There
just
you
like
go.
the basic black rubber, but they are thinner than a lot of the other brands, so you can
Yeah.
fit a little more on there. I think you can fit like instead of 405, you can fit 495 on a normal bar with those. Additionally, I've got a pair of weighted out plates,
Hmm.
and that's just for if I do max out the sleeves, I can throw a pair of those on and go a little heavier.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
I mean, they're super thin, so yeah,
yeah,
you can.
but yeah. So my background is CrossFit.
Yeah.
That's sort of like to rewind back to like 2008.
Hmm.
I got into P90X, and that
Okay.
was sort of like the start of my home gym journey.
Nice.
Um,
Oh, I remember the
and
P90X craze.
for
Like it,
sure,
it hit my workplace. It hit my college friends. Like everyone was P90X, and all of a sudden,
yeah. So I didn't grow up I wasn't athletic growing up. I
hmm
wasn't into sports. I went to art school. And then it wasn't until I was in my 20s I got into P90X. From there, that was sort of my gateway into CrossFit, which was my
okay,
gateway into barbell training.
there you go.
Uh, Before CrossFit, I hadn't touched a barbell. Um, and then, yeah, when I decided to build out a home gym, uh, I knew I wanted to like build it around sort of that style of training,
Hmm.
and barbells were a huge part of that. Um,
Well, how? I mean, for someone who has no idea what we're talking about with P90X, think back, get nostalgic.
yeah,
How would you describe it to some young buck that is like P90X? What is that? Like a
yeah,
pre-workout drink? No, it's not a pre-workout drink.
yeah. P90X, developed by Tony Horton. It
Whoa, you're
came,
coming with like specifics. I like it.
yeah, because he's still out there doing stuff,
Yeah, sure.
and he looks great. But yeah, it was a DVD box set. I think it came with resistance bands, and it's basically a 90-minute training session with warm up, and it was kind of the predecessor to CrossFit because it was basically circuit training with compound movements, a lot of squatting, a lot of pull ups, push ups, that kind of work. Um, and yeah, like I did that for a few cycles um, before the gym opened up and I started doing CrossFit. But yeah, P90X was like the gateway.
Yeah, that's what sent you in there. Well, jumping back into your gym, dumbbells. Any of them floating around?
Yeah, I got a variety of dumbbells actually. So I have the Power Block Pro 100s, and this
Hmm.
is the version before they released it out in directly. They only sold it through Hammer Strength.
Okay.
So these are the Hammer Strength version. and that's my main adjustable dumbbell. But then I also have a couple of fixed dumbbells. In the lighter weights, I've got ones from I don't know, some no name Chinese brand, but
Yeah.
then I've got some Eleiko Evo dumbbells
Okay. Those are
in
sweet.
my most like commonly used
Hmm.
weight increments, just because they're indestructible and I can drop them and throw them in a way that I don't feel comfortable doing that to the power blocks, even though I'm sure
Yeah.
they're fine. But yeah, the Eleiko dumbbells are great. I got the rotating ones, and honestly, if I could go back, I'd probably just get the fixed ones because with the rotation, you only really feel it on, I would say, like heavy dumbbell snatch.
Hmm.
Because it's supposed to like ease the lifts
Okay.
for on your wrist. But from most for like curls, you don't really feel that.
Another vintage weights guy, Efren, he's he's spoken very highly of the rotating
Oh
Eleiko
yeah,
dumbbells. Yeah, he has a set, and custom gold, of course,
sure.
for his gym. Nothing less there, but yeah, and he spoke very highly. So it intrigued me when I messaged with him and he was talking about them. I thought, oh man, I'd like to try that out. So yeah, that's interesting
They're
to hear your
cool.
take on them with
Yeah,
the
no, I think it's
rotation.
cool. But I just don't think that feature is beneficial to most lifters unless you're going real heavy
Mm,
or doing like something real explosive.
gotcha. That makes sense. So now, I mean, we're solid 17 minutes in, and I still haven't asked a question that I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to know. Dr. Tatty Waffles, where are you coming from there, Daniel? I mean, I'm assuming you have tattoos. Do you just have an affinity for waffles as well? Are you really a doctor? Like, can you can
Um,
can you break down the name for us?
sure. I do have tattoos. I'm not a doctor, and in fact, so the whole Dr. Tatty Waffles thing is a persona that I kind of inherited, kind of like a like a Dread Pirate Roberts kind of situation.
Yeah, yeah.
So back in the day, I was living in South Philly, and I bought a an Xbox from this pawn shop, and I didn't know it at the time, but I'm pretty sure they were fencing stolen goods because when I
Yeah.
fired it up, it had this username kind of already in there, and it
You're
was
like,
Dr.
wait a
Tatty
minute.
Waffles.
Oh, no
Yeah,
way. Oh,
it
so there's
was.
another Dr. Tatty Waffles out there
So
somewhere.
I'm not the original,
Oh, that's so
and
funny.
I may not be the last.
In some weird chance of fate, I hope whoever that is Googles their name and this
Yeah.
podcast comes up.
Honestly, it was probably just like randomly generated by Microsoft or something. Who
Sure, but
knows?
yeah, I mean, I've seen all those goofy generated passwords,
Yeah.
whatever, fart too much or something. But yeah.
So
So
yeah,
that's
there's
oh, that's great.
it's just something that I've adopted, and then since then has just been used on all my socials, and so yeah, no like
Dr. Tatty
personal
Waffles.
touch to it.
But it's too good not to adopt, and it has a
I
great
know.
backstory. South Philly, a pawn shop, you get a PlayStation. Like that's good.
I do like
I love it.
waffles. Yeah.
There you go. So it's not completely untrue. Maybe the doctor
Hmm.
part, but you can work on that. You
Yeah.
know, pick up some low level doctorate somehow.
There you
So,
go.
well, yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to get the platforms straight here. You have a picture of yourself on Instagram, but you have a pretzel. It's a pretzel, I think, right?
Yeah.
So that's confused me too. What's with the pretzel? Even though you're Tatty Waffles, you just enjoy pretzels?
If I were like trying to be a content creator, I'd probably be a little more like intentional about
Yeah,
my branding, but it's like whatever. With the pretzels, like another Philly thing,
yeah,
Philly soft
sure.
pretzels. That was like the thing. Yeah, outside of that, there's no real story behind
It's just a
the.
man who enjoys a good pretzel. That's it.
Yeah,
Hey, I'll take it. That's
yeah,
fine. But you're not in Philly anymore. You're in Ohio somewhere these days.
that's correct. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
we're in Northeast Ohio, so
Okay.
yeah, I grew up in Connecticut. I went to Philly when I went to art school, and then I stuck around there till um, 2020 when COVID started, and my wife was like, I really want to be closer to my mom because her mom is like getting up there in age, and we wanted to take care of her. So that was sort of what inspired us to come out here.
Mm.
Plus, I had started working remotely, so it was like whatever. Um, but it also gave me an opportunity to sort of completely redo the gym, right? Because
Nice.
I
Yeah.
had a home gym pre-COVID. When COVID happened, you could sell gym equipment for like what you
Oh
bought
my
it
gosh.
for.
It was bonkers.
It was
Yeah.
totally bonkers. And
Yeah.
so I did that. We moved here, and then I
Definitely a seller's
rebought a
market.
bunch of stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but unfortunately, I had to like buy a bunch of stuff then.
True.
Um, so yeah, when we sold our house there, I gave some stuff away. I sold some stuff, and then the buyers for our house wanted the gym,
Okay.
so that was included at the sale of the house. So I came here with very little stuff. So most of this stuff has been purchased in the last 5 years.
Are you what percentage brand new versus like Facebook Marketplace? Are you like strictly a brand new guy, or do you go shopping for used stuff?
I'm mostly a brand new guy. I definitely will look for discount codes, um, but Facebook for me has just had such a high hassle factor, and
Yeah.
I don't love all the time I've wasted trying to do those deals. So at this point, unless it's like a very niche or high ticket item,
Yeah.
I'll just buy new.
I mean, uh, I have lots of new equipment, but my vintage equipment, you know, comes used. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's vintage, and I can't think of another hobby in at least the home gym community or in the gym community that like being a vintage collector that gets you on Facebook Marketplace and gets you on Craigslist and all those places as much. So I have seen and heard it all. I mean, I'm selling my Atlas stones. I decided most of them, and just today I was dealing with a guy who was messaging me like, "Can I come try this one out?" And I said, "Well, to buy it?" And he was like, "Well, I just want to see if I like it." And I'm like this isn't a store. Like I'm sorry to sound rude, but I'm a busy guy. Like I'm not just
Yeah.
having you over to see if you like lifting Atlas stones. And then he proceeded to keep asking me more questions like, well, what muscle groups does it work? I'm like, all right, like,
Oh.
like just, you can just Google these things. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man. So those
Yeah.
are the kind of like weird things that you end up, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go play with my kids. I'm not going to
Yeah. No, I get
te-
it though. Like,
teach a stranger about posterior chain. So yeah.
yeah. No, but I get that that's what you need to do for the vintage thing. And the vintage
Oh yeah.
collection is something I thankfully never really got too far into just because, it can get real expensive real quick and real like you got to be obsessive to like
Oh
track
yeah.
down those items,
Yeah. I mean,
especially if you're trying to build a set.
it's like I mean, I think it's like anything else. You get the same way you dive headfirst into like gym equipment on the new end of things, and you keep up with it. You're looking for discount codes. When is
Hmm.
this released? Is there a new version modification coming out? How do you fix this? All this stuff.
Yeah.
You do the same thing with the vintage weights, and there's a community of people that are obsessed, and you know, and then they there's purists that's all they lift with. There's other guys that are a little more like me that have a blend of newer equipment and old equipment. um, it it all depends, so you get a
Yeah.
wide variety of people. I would
Honestly, like
say you could just have like one cool old thing in your gym. You don't have to go crazy with it.
I think the aesthetics of that older stuff is amazing and a lot like cooler than most of the new stuff out today. Um, I just I've never personally been
Yeah.
an iron guy, like the clang and bang. Like I understand the appeal of it,
Yeah.
but I also, you know, have a kid. I very much don't want to wake up at night when I'm training.
Yeah. I get up in the morning and I have a basement gym. So the 3 floors difference, I do all
Yeah,
right. I don't wake anyone up. I'm okay
nice.
on that front. But if I was in the garage, I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, I some people really love that the sound of the iron. I actually yesterday I had a very nice gentleman asking me how a specific weight plate sounded. He wanted to
Mhm.
know. He wanted to know, and it was actually wasn't even vintage. It was just deep dish. It was Lemasters. He was like, "Well, how did the Lemasters sound?" And I was like, "Well, they sound like deep dish." And then he was encouraging me to make like a video of just plates and what they sound like. And I thought, well, that is kind of interesting. It's like a weird ASMR, like just plate noises, like weight plates clanging for like 5 minutes that would be horrible to you, but to some other people, they might love it. So who
You might be onto
knows?
something.
I might have like a weird video where I just throw weights on the bar and see how
Yeah,
they sound.
there you go.
Well, as far as your, your handle, Dr. Tatty Waffles, now we know the origin. Coop at Garage Gym Reviews could not get it out of his mouth without smiling and or chuckling.
It's a stupid name.
So, the reason he was talking about you was your collaboration with Darko. So what, Coop in the video said it came from Reddit. Is that where the collaboration happened, or were you just talking, behind the scenes with Darko? Like, for those that don't know, you collaborated with Darko on a mount for the Voltra that is widely regarded as the best option. So it's a very well respected product at this point in the short life that it's been out there. And yeah, let's hear about some of that strength history. How'd that all happen?
Yeah, so I've been sort of in the online home gym community for a long time, uh, mostly on Reddit, um, on our home gym, where I'm actually one of the moderators along with Mr. Joe Gray. Um, and Darko was also a regular on the home gym Reddit, and I think that's how we sort of initially got connected. But then we also sort of like got to know each other more on Discord, and really it was Discord where that the quick mount sort of came to life, because one of the developers of the Voltra, he's a member there, and he's very engaged with the community. Um, and yeah, when I bought a Voltra, immediately I was like, oh, I can't mount this, on the wall or on the flat feet of my rack. So I was like, okay, I've got an idea for this. Which is funny enough, not to like get too sidetracked, but I used to have a an eccentric K pulley, which is like the flywheel system.
Yeah.
I had the same issue with that and built a similar kind of bracket.
Huh. That's
So
cool.
so that was already in my mind of like, oh, this would be like a cinch to put together. So I sort of mocked something up on Photoshop, sent it to the guys at Beyond Power, and they were basically like, oh, that's a cool sketch. So I was like, okay, I got to like
Nice.
push this further.
Yeah.
So I basically started learning CAD. I downloaded a free version of Fusion 360,
Okay.
figured out sort of like the sheet metal tolerances for like how things needed to bend, the
Hmm.
dimensions. Sent it off as a first prototype off to Send Cut Send, which is just this online service. You can send in your designs. They'll cut the metal, they'll bend it, they'll powder
Oh,
coat it, and
cool.
send it back to you. So I did that for my first prototype, and it worked out great. So I posted photos of it on Discord, and people loved it. They were like, "This is great." Darko saw it. He DM'd me, and he was like, "Hey, that's a cool design. Like, I understand if you want to just like turn that into something to sell, or you could use me and my connections." Because he's got his like manufacturing discounts,
Yeah.
and it's something that we could provide to the community at cost. And I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. Like, by all means. On the one hand, I like the designing, but I don't necessarily want to be involved in order fulfillment, customer service, that kind of stuff. So having Darko involved was massive.
That's the exact same way. My idea was these calibration plates for weight plates because they never
Yeah.
weigh what they should weigh. So calibration weights that you can just magnetically put on. But what you just said was exactly why I went to microgains, because although I wanted to, see this product come to market, I did not want to be fulfilling orders
Yeah.
and running a business outside of what I already do with content creation. So, yeah, that's where
Yeah.
microgains took it away. So it makes sense that Darko, then he's got his business all set up, everything,
Hmm.
he's got an impressive lineup at this point of products, website, you name it. So
Yeah.
yeah, totally
And
makes
yeah, and,
sense.
and a lot of his stuff is available on Rogue now too. So he's doing great. He's expanding into a warehouse too, I believe.
That's awesome.
And I'm just so happy for him. Like, and
Yeah.
he's like a great guy. So I'm happy to partner with him. So basically, at the time, Beyond Power didn't offer the mounting hardware for their docks because it interfaces in this like kind of really specialized. I might have one somewhere, but oh, here.
Nice.
So this metal piece here
Okay.
is something that I couldn't produce. We couldn't really, these weren't available to buy.
Hmm.
So what we were planning to do was sort of just buy their cheapest mounts, disassemble them, and sort of
Yeah.
repurpose those parts
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the quick
Just,
mount. And
yeah.
that's what we did for like the first run of them. But pretty quickly, Beyond Power kind of saw the value in this, and they were like, okay, we're gonna like have this DIY system, and we'll be able to like get you guys these parts. So that worked
Nice.
out great because otherwise we would have been like, you know, over these fixed mounts with like heat gun, trying to like whatever. It would have been a nightmare, and it wouldn't have been able to be something we could scale. So it would have been a very limited run, but thankfully Beyond Power uh, gave us all the support and gave us these parts and sort of helped us bring this thing to life.
Yeah, it's really cool. I didn't know that piece of it. I didn't know Beyond Power's involvement or where they stood with it. So it's really interesting to have a company, you know, be in contact with you every step of the way, and in a way facilitate, you know, moving forward a little bit by
Yeah,
making the piece available that you need, rather than someone might assume a company would want to develop their own product that's a
yeah,
similar product. So it's interesting that they went that route, and kind of cool.
yeah, for sure. No, they could have told us to stop.
Yeah,
Like, hey, we don't want you to do that out of like financial concerns, safety
sure.
concerns, whatever. And we would have respected that if they had not wanted us to like move forward on that. But I still would have made it for myself because I wanted it.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is cool that they are involved in the community and want to like support innovation around their product.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, I'm sure you've seen there's competitors, you know, coming out just last week. Um, the 500-pound one.
The Rep
Gosh,
One E Stack.
yes, thank you. Yeah, the Rep One E-Stack on Jake's podcast on Neural News and on Garage Gym
Hmm.
Radio. They were talking about the E-Stack. So I mean, I'm sure as there's competitors coming out, it doesn't hurt to have community engagement to develop your name and things like that for Beyond Power. So
Yeah,
pretty cool.
definitely. Yeah, that thing looks really cool. Where I think one of the weaknesses of the Vultra is that it's, someone can like walk away with it. It's not useful in like a commercial facility.
Yeah.
Uh, and something like the E-Stack is going to be great for like universities and facilities, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And a university or facility might be the only place a monster comes in that really needs 500 pounds. So, because that's the
True.
first thing I thought was, at this stage in the game, I don't really need that much weight
Yeah.
on there. Like
So much.
it's cool to have it on there, but I don't really need it. Um, but on the lower end of things, like the Ryofi, I think that's how you pronounce the name,
Hmm.
the little tiny one, or the Hive that like No Fate showed wasn't working right. Those
Right.
little ones are getting produced more and more as well, and it's, I can't help but think the little ones are going to catch up with the bigger ones eventually.
I
So
hope so. Yeah,
yeah, we'll
because I
see.
mean, right now that the Vultra, I love it, but it's expensive, and it's not going to see wide adoption until they bring that down.
Yeah, it's right now it's too expensive for me. I was really curious about it because I have a smaller home gym and 4-post rack, so I was like,
Hmm.
oh, this is great. I don't have to go to a 6-post. I don't have to worry too much. So, you know, I was considering it, but ultimately I'm heading a different direction. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it all shakes out. Um, in any case, as far as innovations, so that was kind of cool to step into that with Darko. Had you ever attempted, something like that before as a product in this space or otherwise?
Um, Not really. I've done a lot of DIY things for my own space, which are super niche and super like specific to my setup. This was the first one that was sort of like had a wider application. Um, but I have done. I have a lot of my hobbies do sort of revolve around home gym stuff. Um, I have a laser machine in my basement um, that I use to like,
You're like a super villain.
yeah. No, so um, my parents used to run a jewelry store back in the
Okay.
day, and they had an engraving machine that I learned to use. And so, as an adult, I was like, oh, I should see if like I should pick one up. So I did, and I use it mostly to like create customized gifts for friends and family.
Okay.
It's just a hobby I enjoy. But there was a time when American Barbell first released the Chewy Bar.
Uh-huh.
Uh, they didn't have end caps for it. They were releasing
Yeah.
it with the I think like the Grizzly end cap or something.
I have I have an original
Okay.
that I got after the fact because it took me an inordinately long amount of time even to figure out how to use Discord. The Chewy had been released like I don't know 10 times by then, but what the heck's his handle on there? Schmarvo, something like that. Lives not too far from me.
Hmm.
Was selling his, and I picked it up. So yeah, he was nice enough to sell me his, and I have the. It came with the original red caps,
Yes.
but
Right.
then I picked up the Chewy caps, so
Yes. So
got them from you.
yeah. So with the Chewy caps, I in my day job I do motion design, so I do a lot of graphic design and video editing.
Okay,
So I designed some end caps for the Chewy bar and used my laser to mark up these like little stainless discs and basically just ship them to everyone in the Home Gym Discord who
very
had
cool.
pre-ordered the Chewy and wanted to swap their caps for something that actually said Chewy instead of whatever it came with.
Yeah.
Um, so that was my one little, before the quick mount, that was my one little, yeah, I wouldn't even call that a product, but,
Hey,
project.
especially as a Star Wars fan, I immediately, and then people were like, "Oh, message Dr. Tatty Waffles." So it
Yes.
it led back to you. I love the Chewy cap. I'll have to on the Home Gym History Discord on the Home Gym History Instagram page. I'll drop a picture of the Chewy
Nice.
caps.
Yeah, they're cool. They're funny.
Well, how about leaning forward? I mean, are you satisfied right here, or are you open to another light bulb going off over your head and another idea? Are you actively seeking to develop any other products in the future?
Um, it's a good question. I don't have a good answer. You know, I'm really like happy with my setup. So most of the innovations happen around things that I'm unhappy about that I want to fix.
Yeah.
Uh, so I don't see anything on the horizon because I think everything's pretty dialed in at this point. But you never know.
Well, will you ever be finished with your gym?
I
Because you're
want to say
saying you're
yes.
happy with it, but that doesn't equal finished.
Yeah, I think it depends. I think the equipment I buy is sort of driven by the training I do, and the training I do sort of does change over time as I get, you know, older. My back starts, sucking more and more. So, in that sense, it's never done because, I'm sure there's stuff around the corner that's gonna like make my lifting experience remain consistent as I get into like, my 50s and beyond.
Mhm.
So, in that sense, it's never done. Also, I am kind of like thinking about getting that dialed motion like developer. I've
Yeah.
got the Nighthawk, so it's compatible. So it's like,
There you
kind of have to
go.
at that point.
I just placed quite an order with Dialed Motion. I'm all in with Dialed Motion. I was so impressed with them at Home Gym Con. Like
Totally, yeah.
like I just they Leland and James just I, everything about them. I mean, I'm sorry just to like gush like I'm in love with these guys, but like they just really hit all the right marks in terms
Yeah.
of what I'm looking for in a company, the kind of attention to detail, product, you know, design, everything that they're doing. So yeah, as soon as it drops, I plan to get the leg developer as well. That looks really
Yeah.
cool, and
Yeah.
I need
Everything
that in
they've
my gym. I don't have that in my gym unless I'm
same.
reviewing a leg machine, and I just got really spoiled by uh, a leg press hack squat I had in here, and now
Hmm.
I'm like, oh man, I'm back to barbells. so,
Which is
so yeah,
great.
it's
Yeah.
I don't know. This pre-order didn't have the leg developer, so how long do you think
No.
it'll be till they bring it to market? Will it be the next pre-order? Will it take a while longer?
I feel like that's a Joey question.
Yeah,
He knows all that stuff.
yeah, yeah.
I do recall something about like a Q4, so by the end of
Hmm.
the year.
Yeah.
But I could just be making that up. I don't know.
I mean, I was trying to look at their pre-orders to try to see how their fulfillment has gone, and
Mhm.
I that's how dorky I got with like getting into Down Motion. Was I was like
Right.
tracking and asking people, well, how long did this take? Like I was asking like Hogan, Dr. Hogan on Instagram, like,
Hmm.
well, I see you have Down Motion, like how long did it take to come in, which pre-order were you? And I couldn't really make a rhyme or reason of it, so I don't know. If they do have another pre-order, then yeah, it would be this
Yeah.
coming like late fall, winter. So
Yeah. Yeah. Their
maybe
stuff
that's
is
it.
great.
Just in
Um,
time for the holidays. Get
yeah.
yourself.
I mean,
You won't physically have it for the holidays, but you can pre-order it for yourself.
there you go. Yeah. I'm Team Half Rack, but
Yeah,
if I wasn't, their strap safeties are so nice.
I bought them with this
You did?
pre-order. Yeah, and I can't
Yeah.
wait because I'm constantly taking these off and
Hmm.
to walk through.
Yeah.
So as soon as nice, like Mike said that a couple times talking about them on news, and I had the same experience that Mike
Even the
had.
straps themselves are like bougie. They're not like spud
Yeah,
ink, like lifting straps. They're all like supple.
yeah. I you had the option to buy them without the straps,
Hmm.
and just get because the draw is the magnet kind of piece that you can easily
Right.
slide it. Actually, you know what? The way you described the J cups, but the J cups on your Leica rack have rollers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but minus the rollers, but the ease of moving them up and
Hmm.
down the upright is kind of the way I felt with the magnetic strap system they had. But you could buy them without the straps, and I thought, oh heck no, like I want those sweet straps. Like
Yeah.
I'm not just buying the end pieces and putting like my dirty old Rogue straps on there. Like no offense,
Right.
Rogue, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I that attention to detail, like I said, that's big. So you have a lot of Eleiko. You spoke highly of Beyond Power. I'm sitting here gushing over Down Motion. What are other than those three? We're going to take them out of the running. What are some of the other companies that you're keeping your eye on here in the home gym space?
Oh, in terms of,
Just what anything that you love that you have already by the
mhm.
company, or just companies that pique your
Yeah,
interest. You see something that they put out there, and you stop to read it, or you stop to look at the post, whatever it is.
sure. You know, there's a lot of stuff coming in from overseas that looks cool. Obviously, all the stuff that came in to Home Gym Con from ATX,
Oh
their
yeah.
stuff is like super compact and super, the fit and finish is great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I definitely keep an eye on them. And I've been wanting them to come to the US for a long time. And it seems like they're finally going to, but TBD.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm sitting on an ATX bench right now, actually. So
nice.
that was the best thing I brought home from Home Gym Con. So
Um,
I've been enjoying it.
and there's push and pull fitness is another interesting one. They have like the articulating lever arms with the retractor built in.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not a lever arm guy, but I'm just like the engineering that goes into that is just super impressive. Um, and then in terms of stuff that I have that I really like, obviously Elite FTS. I have their posterior chain developer. They're not a company I see innovating much. They've got their like basic strength training for the guys who do like 5-3-1.
Hmm.
Like the
I,
giant
oh,
dudes,
you are
and I
like,
love that.
see, there's some more nostalgia. I have, actually, I think I'm in the basement, so up on in the rafters, I store books, and I think I still have my original like Wendler 531. It's
Yeah,
that I purchased, and then I think I got a second one too, like Beyond 531 or something like that.
nice. Yeah,
So yeah, I spent a solid probably 2 years 531.
yeah, yeah. 5-3-1's great.
So I have that
Yeah,
phase right with my P90X phase.
sure. um, yeah, I like Elite FTS's stuff a lot. Dave Tate, he's got another good podcaster.
Oh yeah,
Um, Trying to think of what else. I don't know. Obviously, Rep is doing some really interesting stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if they, and I'm just like have nothing to back this up, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're one of the first companies to integrate the Rep One technology. You know?
it when Jake was talking about it and working through that. on his podcast. I was thinking that, like, I wonder, yeah, I
Because they
wonder
have
if they'll
a
partner with someone to just, if they could handle kind of the commercial side, and they'll partner with like a rep to like hit the home gym market.
yeah, it makes sense because I mean they have a pretty recent history of innovation and partnerships. They do their thing with
Mhm.
Cleva.
Yeah,
Um, I see it, and they have the ecosystem built out where I think it could make sense. Um,
that's a good call.
yeah.
Well, other
Go
than
ahead.
that, you said you're pretty happy with your gym. I just got to ask, since it's been over your shoulder for the past 45 minutes, you got a glowing peach over your left shoulder, and then it's a little hard to see, but is it a goat or a dog or something banner over the right shoulder? Can you tell us
Yeah.
about your gym decorations?
Yeah. Sure. So I decided to come up with a logo for my gym.
Okay.
Call it the Salty Goats Garage
Oh,
Gym.
so it is a goat. I was
It
right.
is a
Okay,
goat.
nice.
Yeah. Actually, so my last name is Gautier, and that's
Okay,
sort of my nickname all through high school is Goat.
makes
Uh,
sense.
Before it meant greatest of all time. So
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, Salty Goat. That's the gym, and I put that, you know, throw that in the laser engraver and throw that on all my anything that can be engraved.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you do need to combine these things at some point. I mean, the salty goat, you've got the pretzel, the Dr. Tatty waffles. Somehow it's got to all come together into some like weird, crazy gym banner that has all three.
Yeah,
So,
with the salt, I think
mm,
it makes sense on multiple levels because it's
yeah,
like when you're salty, you're angry and you're like
exactly.
intense, and also just because like all
Yeah.
the sweat, salty sweat.
And the
I don't
salt on
know.
the pretzel. I mean, it's coming
Yeah,
together. If we can,
yeah,
we can make this work. Like
yeah,
the goat can be a doctor. Like it's all coming together. So, I
yeah.
really, the next time I see you, probably will be Home Gym Con, unless I make a trip out to Northeast Ohio to get some old weights or something. And when I see you, I hope you have a gym banner with all three.
I'll try.
All right. Well, hey, Daniel, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. And yeah, listeners, jump down into the description. I'm going to drop all of Daniel's information. You can check him out on the various platforms and things, and see Dr. Tatty Waffles for yourself.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a content creator, so there's really not
Yeah,
much to check out, but I'm always happy to like meet people in the community and you especially, I'm so thankful that you had
yeah,
me on and for making time. I know we had to reschedule this, so I
yeah.
appreciate your flexibility
It's
and
all good.
just love talking shop.
I posted a picture of my recording studio on Instagram, which consists of a crate, a small DIY plyo box, a comic book box, and a plastic bucket with rice in it.
Hmm.
So it's
Is that
yeah,
like a
it's
grip
fine.
thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
To like dig in the rice.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Nice.
mean, where I'm going with that is just that rescheduling is no big deal. It's not like
Cool.
I have a intricate setup here. I literally just
Yeah.
grab stuff sitting around and stack it up until it's the right height. So all good, man. All
Sweet. Thanks, Rob.
right. Thanks a lot.